No, no, no. No, I'm not made to run, bro. I'm not made to run. No, no, no. I drive cars, I don't run, bro.
Yo, did you see that car?
Yeah, it's a Supra, man.
A Supra?
Yeah, Toyota Supra. You don't know what that is?
Yo,
it's a Toyota, bro.
Nah, forget about that.
It's a Supra. What are you talking about?
Toyota, bro.
You go run, bro. I'm gonna drive. I'm sorry guys, they're making me work on my cardio. They say I drive too much, I don't walk enough. But this is Greenlight Car Reviews. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing down below and hitting that bell icon so you get notified every time we drop a new video and you don't miss out on cool stuff like this. But now what's important is that we are filming the long-awaited 2020 Toyota Supra GR today. We've been waiting for over 20 years for this car when you finally have it. So let's talk about this car. Let's go into every detail of every aspect of it and let's see how it is on the road. So let's get into it, guys. So looking at the exterior of this vehicle, you can obviously see it's very Japanese. You got some crazy flowy lines and it's extremely aggressive. So this is a car that was designed partly by BMW. So a lot of people compare it to the Z4 because it practically is a Z4. They have the same engine, the same chassis, and it's practically the same car. They've been built together. The only difference is once they had the chassis in and the engine, then each company tuned the car differently and put kind of their special touch into it. So compared to the Z4, I would, to be honest, rather take this, but we're gonna get more into that later. But this starts right under $50,000 US, when a Z4 starts at around $65,000 US. So there is a pretty big price difference. And then the look of this car is honestly very, very nice, very aggressive, very sporty, and it's crazy to believe that this is only $50,000 US. Now, over here you get some 19-inch alloy wheels, and this is the premium version of the car. So you kind of get this matte black on the wheels, and then you get a few different options inside because it is the premium package. And then you get a nice, some nice air intakes in the front. The sad thing is a lot of these are fake. Now, Toyota with this car was kind of the king of fake vents, but we're gonna show you that in a second. And then you get these nice blacked out mirrors over here. You get this beautiful double bubble roof over here, so it kind of curves in. I find that looks really, really cool, and it helps with the aerodynamics of the vehicle. And then over here, Toyota decided to bring back, you know, a while back all the girls used to do the duck lips, like that. This is kind of the duck spoiler. So they brought back the duck lips in the back of their car, and that's a cool touch. And then you have this cool light over here for the track, and you have some beautiful, beautiful exhaust tips. Now these are real exhausts. It's very loud, and it's actually from BMW, and it sounds really, really cool. And then you have the GR badge over here. You have these cool LED lights, and a lot of people don't like the shape of the rear over here over the wheels because it's very wide. Some people compare it to Kim Kardashian's bottom, but I actually like it a lot. I find it looks very aggressive, and it kind of looks like a Porsche if you look only from this angle, and I really like that about it. Now, I want to talk about the engine because this is a very cool engine, and we're going to get into that right away. Because this is exactly the same thing as a BMW, to open the boot in the front, you have to pull this lever twice. And then you come here and you have the crazy inline 6 turbocharged 3-liter engine producing a crazy 353 horsepower and 365 pound-feet of torque. Now, what's really funny about this is you have BMW badges all around over here. So it's written down below over here. On the fuel pump, you see a BMW badge. On the engine, over here, you have a BMW badge here, and here you have a Toyota sticker. It's a whole mess of stickers and badges. But another thing I want to talk about is the boot in the back. So the thing about the boot is you can only open it 2 ways. So either with the key or with a button you have over here in the door. You cannot open it from the back. There is no button. And then you open it from the top, from the duck lips, and then you have this over here. It actually is the same size boot as a Audi TT. So it's not that big, it's not that small, but I really don't like this big gap over here. It's pretty big. But if you do want more space, you can take this off over here and lift this up, and then you'll get more space inside the vehicle. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you take that off over here, and then it's very hard to take out. I'll tell you that right away. It doesn't really fit. A lot of people complain about that. I struggled a lot. Well, we'll leave it like that for now. And then we're actually gonna try to fit someone in here and do the green light trunk test. Green light trunk test. To see how big. Oh, so our runner's back. Can you try to fit in there? Yeah, you're gonna have to squish a bit. Put your head under that. Let's lift it a bit. Yeah, right there. There you go.
Let's go for a ride, bro.
Yeah. Very nice. You good in there? Comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could fit some luggage in there. It's not that bad. Very nice, very nice. All right. And what's cool about this is because it's so high up, you can actually fit 2 full-size tires in the boot, which is very good if you want to go on a track day and you want to bring this car on the track and you want to change, you know you're going to have to change the tires in the back during your day. You're going to be able to fit 2 tires in here. The only thing that's really annoying about the boot is, like I said before, this is very hard to remove. It doesn't seem to fit, like it does not come out in any way, and it's kind of annoying, but you do get a good amount of space in the back. So coming inside the cabin of this vehicle, you can see a lot more similarities with BMW. So basically, all these buttons over here are from BMW. This little twisty knob here to control the infotainment is BMW. This is BMW. All this is BMW. These buttons over here, the door handles. The steering wheel is also BMW. The gear shifters are BMW. The wiper buttons and everything is BMW. So basically, it is a BMW on the interior. But what I like is you get some good quality materials. So you have this soft material over here, and instead of cheaping out on the bottom over here, they actually put some soft, cushiony material on the bottom as well. And because this is the premium version of the car, so the premium package, you get some nice leather seats. The base model has this Alcantara in the middle, so this is all leather. You get a bigger screen. Instead of 10 speakers, you get 12, and you get a head-up display. You also get this cool carbon fiber over here in the middle and on the door sills. And I really like the design of the interior. And what I like is that I always criticized BMW for being a bit boring. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for that. I really apologize. But I really find that they found a way to make a good match between the exciting part of the Japanese car, so the design outside and the look, and inside the infotainment and everything is BMW, which works well because it's German. And then the infotainment itself is the old BMW iDrive. So not the newest version that they have in their new cars with the X6 and everything. It's the old version, but it works really, really well, and it's very familiar, and a lot of people are going to be comfortable using this. And I think that that's the reason people are going to buy this more, because they're going to recognize the system and the interior and everything they're going to use because it comes from a BMW, and they're going to be maybe a bit less scared of buying this car as if it was all Toyota. And Toyota in the past has not been very good with designing interiors because they just have a bunch of buttons everywhere and you don't really know what it means, and it's a bit all over the place. And then there's a digital dash over here. So you have your ref counter in the middle, and it's a cool design. So it's like digital, but there's also an analog dial. And then on the left, you have your speed, and on the right, you can kind of customize your information. And the seats are actually very comfortable. Now, if you're sitting in this for a long time, you might get a bit tired of it just because it's very low on the ground. But I find the seat actually sits pretty high, and you do get a good amount of space on the top. And the reason for that is that double bubble roof. So because you get that bubble on each side of on top of each seat, you get a bit more headroom. The only thing is, because of that bubble roof, you cannot have a sunroof. So this is all closed up. But besides that, I generally enjoy this interior. The only thing I dislike a little bit is in the middle over here of the steering wheel, in the bottom, there's just a plastic bit covering, let's say, what would be a hole in other steering wheels, and that's kind of weird. And these vents are a bit cheap, and these buttons over here are a bit cheap, and this is kind of copying, I guess, I don't know if you guys remember, well, the F-Type has something like this, but on the other side, right? So on this side, And the goal of that was that this part of the vehicle is kind of the driver's side, and then it separates with the passenger side, which is why they had a piece like this on the other side. But now they've put it on the left side, which is like allowing the passenger to control all of this while you drive. And if you're like me, well, then you don't like your passenger controlling all of your things while you drive. So I kind of dislike this. I would have liked it to be on the other side, so my passenger leaves me alone. But it still is pretty cool inside, and for the price, you actually get a lot of stuff. And you get some good sized cup holders, you get some wireless charging over here with the premium package, you get some USB ports. There's not a lot of place in the doors for storage. I have a glove box over here that's not that big. But besides that, all in all, it is very good. But now it is the most important part of the video, because we're gonna go drive this car. Because that's what it's all about. This is a driving car, and we wanna see how it is on the road. So let's get into that, guys. And let's see how this really is, and how fast it is, and how many burnouts we can do, and if we can burn a full set of tires before the end of this video. But before we go for a drive, let's see how this thing sounds. So let's start it up and let's see what that exhaust sounds like. Run a bit faster, 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 faster. You want to race?
Yo. Yeah.
Because look, you're telling me to run. I don't run, I drive. So if you want to race, we could race. You want to race? Guys, let me tell you what this car is good for, okay? It's good for one thing. It's made for that. All right, so basically, guys, it's the first time we get stopped by the cops reviewing a car. Apparently, we were making a bit too much noise. People said to the cops that it was a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever. It is not the case, but I guess that's a good thing for anybody who wants to buy the car. It's a Toyota, and apparently it looks like a Lamborghini. Now, we weren't doing any speed, we weren't doing anything reckless. We're always very careful when we film our videos. We always respect the speed limits, and we're always careful. So, you know, always make sure you're safe. Always make sure you're careful when doing things like this. Always make sure you're careful in a car, because you don't want to get into trouble, and you don't want to do anything dangerous. So let's see what happens, guys, and then we'll try to get back to our video. Ouais.
C'est beau pour valider des
Ok, parfait.
plaques de véhicule, c'est correct. Votre permis à vous est correct. Vous ne conduisez pas, j'imagine?
Non, il conduisait pas, il était passager.
Ça marche.
Je m'excuse encore. All right, guys, so we're back in the car after being stopped by the cops. Like I said, they stopped us because they got a bunch of complaints, apparently. We weren't doing anything bad, we weren't doing anything dangerous. We never do any speeding, so that's why we go out of town. We go on roads where there's a higher speed limit, and we could push the car a bit more. Basically, like I said before, they thought it was a Lamborghini or something, which was pretty funny. Once again, this is a car that's under $50,000 US. And it's incredible to believe it's that cheap for what you get. The sound that comes out of this is incredible. It's so loud, and the pops and the bangs are like ridiculous, and it's just so fun to drive. And we were talking about this before as we were filming some shots, and we were saying how we have almost more fun in this than we do in, let's say, like Ferraris or Lamborghinis or Porsches. And it's just because it's so easy to drive and it's so easy to play around in. You could just really get it to do what you want it to do. The handling of this is incredible, and it's partly because that 50-50 weight distribution, and this also has that golden ratio, like they say, which is the distance between the rear and front wheels, and then the two front wheels, and that ratio allows this car to be perfectly stable, apparently. And you really feel that once you put it around a corner. It just grips so well, and it's just so good. You know exactly where it's going. And if you take that traction control off, it's just so easy to, you know, do burnouts or drift in it, even though you don't want to do that in the city. You want to be on a track to do that. We'll specify that again. And then everything is just so nice about this. The ride is extremely comfortable. The infotainment is good. You get Apple CarPlay with it, but because it's the same system as BMW, you do not get Android Auto. And it's just really, really, really nice. The visibility is very good, and I find that the ride in comfort is extremely comfortable. Like, you could have this as a daily driver and be happy with it. You don't have a lot of wind noise. You do get a bit of tire noise, but it's not that bad. And it's extremely comfortable on bumps. We have a lot of bumpy roads in Montreal. We're from Montreal and we're in Canada. And this does really well on those roads. And then if you want to put it into your sportier setting, you just press a button, everything stiffens up. And then in your sport setting, you can actually customize it. There's BMW individual settings, so you can configure that and you can change all of your settings. So if you want your damping to be in comfort while the rest is in sport, you can do that really easily. And it's fun that you can customize that. And I just really like the drive of this. I like it a lot. They really did something amazing with this car. We waited a long time to get it, and I think it was the right thing to do for them to wait and for them to perfect this vehicle. And I would 100% choose this over a BMW Z4. And the reason for that is not that I have anything against BMW. It's just I find this so much more fun, and just the look of it is ridiculous. Like I said before, the cops got complaints that there was a Lamborghini racing on their streets. It's ridiculous to think that a $50,000 vehicle can be compared to that. So that's just to prove how crazy this vehicle really is. So all in all, we had a lot of fun filming this today. We got to enjoy it a lot, and it's been a while since I've enjoyed a car this much. And you know, you do get a lot of fake vents and you do get a lot of the BMW inside, but once you forget about those little quirks, you really start enjoying this vehicle. And when you put it into sport and you downshift and you start pressing on that pedal, the sound and just the feeling of the drive makes you forget everything else, makes you forget the Z4, makes you forget any other car you've been in, and it just makes you want to drive this. And it's just such a nice place to be. If you have an opportunity to buy this vehicle, go buy it. I really suggest it. But if you don't want to buy it, well, you know what? We're gonna put a link in the description, and you could actually rent this vehicle. So the people that lent us this vehicle, we're gonna put their logo up right now. They rent this vehicle for $250 a day in Montreal. So you can rent it out for the day, have fun with it, enjoy it. And honestly, for that price, I really suggest you do it, because it is just incredible. It's an experience. And you know, people kept stopping us on the roads as we were filming this. A bunch of kids ran up to the street. We obviously stopped once we saw them, and they were trying, you know, to film the car, and they were freaking out just because of how cool this car is. And I think that's what's really important about it. So everybody, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being with us. Stay safe, everybody. Once again, if you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. It helps us a lot. And if you want to try it out and you're in Montreal, well, go rent this vehicle. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you soon.